Hello everypony, Corpulent Brony here. DRWolf is off on a well-deserved vacation, and he was gracious enough to allow me this time to talk to all of you, his wonderful subscribers, about something that's been bugging me lately. But first...
Behold, the cave of ghastly bog! There he is!
Where?
There!
What, behind the rabbit?
It is the rabbit!
You silly sod!
What?
You got me all worked up!
Well, that's no ordinary rabbit. That's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you ever set your eyes on. Look, that rabbit's got a vicious streak a mile wide. It's a killer. He'll do you up a treat, mate. I'm warning you. He's got huge, sharp... he can leap about... look at the bones. Look.
Holy Celestia!
I warned you, but did you listen to me? Oh no, you knew it all, didn't you? It's just a harmless little bunny, isn't it? Well, it's always the same. I always tell them. Do they listen to me?
Why do some bronies believe that Angel Bunny is evil? Look at this adorable little lagomorphic face. How could any pony believe he overflows with evil, like Celestia's cup at Sugar Cube Corner? For these reasons, I would like to start up a discussion on why some bronies think Angel has a vicious streak a mile wide, while others believe he is no more than a harmless little bunny. We all know that making Fluttershy cry is a capital offense, and Angel's purported abuse of this little yellow pony is often cited as evidence of his evil. But when has Angel ever treated Flutters in such a mean-spirited way? Was it in Ticketmaster, when he thumps her leg? No, he was trying to get her to be more assertive and say she wants the ticket. What about when he kicked a carrot at her head in Dragonshy? No, he was just trying to communicate the severity of the situation with the dragon. Perhaps it was in A Bird in the Hoof, when he headbutted Fluttershy's flank. No, again, he was just excited and wasn't paying attention to where he was going. Was it in that same episode when he kicked her leg? No, once more, trying to get her attention focused on making it to the meeting with Celestia. So what about the time when he locked her out of her own cottage in that exact same episode? Again, he's helping to make sure she makes it to her important event. Then, where is he so abusive? It is at this moment bronies will point to Putting Your Hoof Down. In that episode, Fluttershy realizes, while at the market, that she's a doormat, and Angel's unreasonable and selfish request for a special salad is what precipitated everything. Fluttershy slaves over the salad, and when presented with this offering, Angel unceremoniously rejects it all because no cherry. On the surface, these are the events that transpired. But if you dig deeper, I think you'll find there's more to it. Let's yank out the shovels and see what we can uncover. The episode opened with Fluttershy feeding pelleted food out of a box to a bevy of animals in her cottage. She then proceeded to feed her only avowed pet this exact same common aliment. This was an affront to our beloved hare and a potential threat to his coveted position as the only heretofore acknowledged pet of the universally beloved pink-coiffed koi mare. After all, is he no different than the many forest creatures who visit occasionally for food to be fed such slop? Fluttershy's attempted reconciliation offering of her own salad fell flat, and Angel countered, demanding a specialty salad of his own choosing. Presented with the cherryless salad, Angel made his displeasure known. There was one redeeming scene in this episode for Angel, when he showed obvious concern for Fluttershy as he tied her to a chair to protect others from her over-assertive self, one assumes on the request of Flutters. In the end, the stare is used on Angel to force him to try the salad, and guess what? Hey Mikey, I think he likes it! There you go, the strongest evidence I can find that Angel is abusive towards Fluttershy, leading me to ask those who consistently point to this single episode, is it wise to base your entire concept of a character on one single episode? If so, what would be thought of Pinkie Pie after Philly Vanilli, or Applejack after Some Pony to Watch Over Me? Aha, one may say. Surely you remember Just for Sidekicks. He was a common churl, with his constant running away and refusal to behave. So what do you have to say about them apples? Well, I like apples. But all of the interactions between Angel and Fluttershy were very positive in that episode. The only ones being abused were Spike and, I argue, Angel himself. And these two have had a beef since Dragonshy, when the dragon rudely dropped the bunny on his head. In Just for Sidekicks, Fluttershy coyly approached Spike and asked for his help looking after her dear pet. Throughout this entire scene, Angel did not look the least bit amused, and after saying hello to Spike, the prickly Coney met his next abuser, Aloysius, a natural predator of rabbits who chased Angel around the library, thus severely frightening the poor Lagomorph, who barely escaped, clutching for dear life on Flutter's mane. After being abandoned with Spike, Angel took the first opportunity he saw to flee and found himself in the company of the Cutie Mart Crusaders, who were swooning over his cuteness and adoring him in what he considered the proper manner. Spike busted onto the scene and eventually talked the three little ponies into taking all the critters. As the dragon returned from a quick trip to the grocer, Spike realized that leaving all these animals in the care of the CMC may not have been his best idea, and he then proceeded to roll out of there with all the critters. Once again, Angel found an opportunity to escape by boarding a train, and, after a characteristically short train ride, finally discovered his beloved Fluttershy outside the train window in the Crystal Empire. In a truly heart-wrenching moment, he attempted to get her attention by pointing out his tail was still in curlers, only to realize that she can't see him. Angel bolted out of the train with Spike in hot pursuit, and nearly made it to the owner he adored so much, but Spike intervened and dragged him away in yet another scene guaranteed to bring about a serious case of the feels. Spike corralled all the animals under the seats of a train car, which is then occupied by the main six. As the train's preparing for departure, Angel prepared to alert them to their presence and end the entire charade. But Spike unexpectedly apologized to Angel and even removed the curlers from his tail, which at this point were obviously bothering the bunny. The two reconciled their differences as Angel brought Spike a jewel he needed to help quiet his hungry stomach. Thus, I believe this animosity between Angel and Spike is brought to a satisfying denouement, and the only thing Angel showed towards Fluttershy the entire episode was a desire to be with her. Surely not the sign of an abusive pet, right? Far exceeding these supposed episodes of abuse are the scenes where Angel shows sincere care and concern for Fluttershy. She lovingly clutches him in Ticketmaster. He mops her brow as she performs delicate surgery in A Bird in the Hoof. He comforts her after her embarrassment in Hurricane Fluttershy, and then coaches her along in a bid to improve her self-confidence. He protects her from the CMC in Ponyville Confidential when the Crusaders unwittingly hurt her feelings. She saves him from the chaos of discord in Keep Calm and Flutter On. He recognizes her in Magical Mystery Cure before she remembers herself. He tends her injured wing in Castlemania, and later the two have a tearful reunion in that same episode. Surely these moments that display so well the love between a pet and its caretaker far outnumber any where Angel is being mean or abusive. Speaking of abuse, Angel has often been the object of scorn and abuse himself on numerous occasions. He was screamed away by Twilight, manhandled by a crazed Pinkie Pie, transformed into an abomination by Discord, blown into a tree by hurricane force winds, kicked and swatted out of his favorite seat, stalked by a dead bunny sandal wearing Discord, who then used a carrot to terrorize the poor creature. He was nearly squashed by a runaway log, left alone in a terrifying castle, blown away by one of Bulk Bicep's tremendous yells, deprived of his bed by the breezies, and heartlessly denied a tasty apple muffin. It saddens me to see this abusive treatment carried over into the Brony fandom. I hope I've been able to show this little rabbit really isn't as bad as every pony seems to think. I've been lucky enough to have my own pet rabbit for the past 2 years, and her behavior mimics Angel so thoroughly well that it's almost as if the writers based his character off of my bunny, who, by the way, has earned the name Attila the Bun. Just as Angel displayed jealousy when Fluttershy stroked a squirrel, or even showed interest in Maud's pet Rock, so does my rabbit rush ragingly at me whenever I'm petting the cat, thus scaring away the feline and putting herself in the optimal position for me to massage her massive ears. And I frequently find Attila turning her nose up at her food, and she tends to hold grudges, much like another bunny previously mentioned. I could wax on further about my pet, but this is supposed to be about Angel, and I guess I finished my thesis on Angel's innocence. Thanks for your time, and I hope to hear your thoughts on Angel and whether you believe he is evil, mean, or abusive. I'd like to take a moment to thank DRWolf for allowing me to host my thoughts on his channel while he is away on vacation. One of the things that inspired me to make this was his first video positing Fluttershy's weakness was part of her greatest strength. A little more than a year later, and the kind doctor now has more than 250 videos up on his channel. I cannot express how grateful I am to have my work featured here as well. If you would like to see more of my analyses, please visit my channel. Until then, I am Corpulent Brony, and I look forward to hearing from you.